Greetings, YouTube. I am back. I am in my broadcast studio chair. Always sounds fancier than it is, but I mean, if you were to see this room and visit, I think you'd be pretty impressed with what it looks like for a small Oklahoma suburban home. This, of course, behind me is all thanks to subscribers and those donations and the like button, comments, etc. Amazing. But how fitting is it that the last video I made before I went to Kansas City and Springfield, Missouri for my weekend vacation number 1 of 2, because my second will be next weekend in Portland, how fitting is it that I left recording a surprise third time's the charm, or at least that's what my mom said when she had triplets, replay of the Alliance Quest compensation that got us an additional 3,000 glory and potions and revives, etc. The problem is, I heard from several of you when I could check my messages after I got into Springfield that said, Prof, you are overhyping this compensation. Which, by the way, look, beggars can't be choosers. We weren't expecting the compensation. We could have gone easily without a third round and been fine. It's one of those things, it's like, since it exists, you can complain about it, and if it didn't exist, you never would have known about it to complain. But free stuff is free stuff. However, I do sympathize and empathize with people whose main point was, Prof, this parry and dexterity situation has cost me so many revives outside of Alliance events. We're talking about Event Quest. We're talking about people who attempted the Abyss during this. We're talking about Act 6, Act 7, etc. Where, yeah, you would like regular potions and regular revives that don't deal with special, especially Alliance Quest content. I get it. And of course, because there were this many complaints, the main complaints centered around one conspiracy theory, that Kabam knew that they couldn't give us revives and potions because then we could use them to more easily beat the Summer of Pain without having to use units, and that is the biggest moneymaker Kabam was hoping for this summer, so of course they're not going to give them to us, blah, 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 blah. That was what you all told me. Well, I wanted to wait until I could sit and look into my camera and just read Kabam's response. Because this is a company that is not very good, historically speaking, at being transparent. They're not very good, historically speaking, about understanding the community's needs. But, in this case, I think they hit a true home run out of the park, and let me further explain by reading this message. Summoners from the MCOC team, thank you all for your patience as we've worked to identify and address the recent issues affecting gameplay. Recently, we concluded our beta test of a potential fix for this bug and have seen some positive improvements via feedback from participants. Finding a solution for this issue is a complex task, as we have to base a lot of this on feel while also trying to verify it with data. We are continuing to work on a hotfix and are happy with the direction we are going. However, we do not believe that we will have a hotfix for this issue before the release of patch 32.1, which, by the way, patch 32.1, remember when patch 12.0 was the thing? That was 20 patches ago. What? That patch is going to be Tuesday, August 3rd. To ensure that we can deliver on our next content drop and be as confident as possible while operating with as much transparency as we can in this situation. And keep in mind, they're using that T word, transparency, which they have committed to for the past few years. Sometimes they get the mark on that, sometimes they don't, but in this case, I really think they do. We want to let all our players know that we are aiming to get a fix for this issue out with a hotfix to 32.1 that will be available after August 3rd. The delay of Summoner Showdown continues. As we want to ensure that everybody can play to the best of their abilities, we will be delaying the start of the Summoner Showdown until after the hotfix is available. While we are eager to start this year's showdown, we do not believe that we should do that until a fix for this issue is in place. I completely agree, and I think it's wonderful that they have come to that conclusion. But really, what's this video about, right? It's about further compensation, because there were also people, again, the pessimistic conspiracy theorist who said, Prof, they're giving us 3 rounds of Alliance Quest compensation because that's going to be it. We're not going to get any further compensation, and we're going to be told to shut up and be thankful for it. Which, look, for the record, if we didn't get any further compensation, I wasn't going to be mad about it. Sure, it would have been nice to get potions and revives, that weren't alliance-based, but I was still thankful for the 9,000 glory, which if you're Thronebreaker, for 9,000 glory, you can get a crazy amount of Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst, Tier 5 Basic Catalyst Fragments. You can get some Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment, I wish they were selectors, but crystals, to see if you strike it rich. If nothing else, Tier 4 Basic and Tier 1 Alpha. But, behold, that is not all the compensation. Because many of you have asked, and we can confirm that we will be working on compensation for this issue once it has been addressed. And we can measure the impact that it has had on the game and our players. Prior to that, we will also plan on sending players a pack of potions and revives. Not a pack of potions and revives, but 3 packs of potions and revives. At some point next week. We also delivered players another Alliance Quest. Okay, so, excuse me. So, they delivered us the 3rd Alliance Quest compensation package earlier today, but they plan on sending us a pack of potions and revives that aren't Alliance Quest related next week. Meaning, the conspiracy theory that we weren't going to get any regular potions and revives because we were going to use them for the Summer of Pain and that was going to eat away at Kabam's bottom line for units appears to be completely 100% false, because Kabam is going to give us... Now, I can't tell you how many we're going to get, and of course, there are going to be people who say, Prof, this is pathetic compared to how many units and potions and revives I had to use. This is just pennies on the dollar. I get that. One compensation package is never going to make everybody happy, especially those of you who've spent a lot of units with this problem. I'm not trying to minimize that, but at the same time, this is better than nothing, which is what some people thought we would get. We do not anticipate having to delay any other content, though we will not start the next season of Alliance Wars until a fix is available. Also very smart. We truly appreciate your patience as we've worked to address this issue and are sorry that we have not been able to get a fix out to you all yet. Sometimes Kabam will not apologize, and I'll think, why didn't you just apologize? They used the word sorry in this post. You know, that might not mean anything to anybody else, but to me that means a lot. Like, thank you for saying that. Really, truly. Thank you for your understanding, and we would like to apologize. Again, sorry and then an apology. That's actually 2 apologies for the inconvenience that this issue has caused. I'm not going to pretend that I think every comment on this video is going to be positive, because there are going to still be people who complain and it's not going to be good enough for them, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not saying if you spent 1,000 units or all your stash to get through content because parry and dex and definitely lag and frame rate issues, that's not a valid concern, because it is. But at the same time, this company in the past has had similar things happen. They've never acknowledged it. They've never apologized for it. And yes, they've never given us compensation. Or there's been like 4 months of issues, and then they give us one small compensation package for all 4 months combined. This has been the opposite. They've acknowledged the problem from the beginning. They've apologized for it multiple times. They've given us 3 of the same Alliance Quest compensation with a promise of more non-Alliance related compensation to come. Everything that I have been staring into this camera for 4 years saying this is the playbook that Kabam should follow, but they don't, they followed with this announcement. And so I am not here to condemn or criticize them, but to praise them. And if people don't like it when I praise Kabam on this channel, then don't watch the channel. Actually, don't watch it, because I don't want you to just be here when you get excited when things are critical, because that is not the kind of channel I'm trying to run. For those that watch every video and not just the ones that seem to get the most views that are critical, which also makes me depressed, because the human condition is more excited to have the excitable outrage blame syndrome than, like, it's almost like the brain activates more when you're outraged than when you're happy. And that is a depressing thought for the human condition. But in this case, all smiles here. Hit a home run. They listened to us. We're going to have at least 4 compensation packages, 3 Alliance Quest compensation, and then 1 whatever else they're calling it, along with the transparency and accountability that we have come to actually not expect from the past. Maybe this is Kabam turning over a new leaf, and it'll be like this from now on. Only time will tell. But I was really excited to make this video because I'm really thankful they put out this message. I'm thankful for the 3 compensation packages we've seen so far, and I'm looking forward to the one this coming week. Kabam, you hit a home run. You hit it out of the park. Good work from at least this random guy in Oklahoma. You made it to where I feel better about the game, and honestly better about your company after reading this press release.